I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Revelation 22:13. Let's confront it head on. Who dares to say they are the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end of all things? Only one voice in all of Scripture dares to utter such thunder, and that voice belongs to Jesus Christ. Revelation 22:13 does not come from an angel, a prophet, or a poet. It comes from the lips of the risen Christ himself. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. This is not poetry. It's proclamation, a declaration of divine supremacy. So here's the question every skeptic, pastor, imam, priest, and self-proclaimed scholar must answer. Who but God can claim to be the source and the conclusion of all existence? Alpha is the first letter of the Greek alphabet. Omega is the last. Jesus is claiming not just priority in time, but sovereignty over it. He is the origin of creation and the conclusion of history, the one who started it all and the one who will bring it all to judgment. That's not a role for a prophet. That's not the job of a messenger. That's the identity of God alone. So let the challenge begin. You say Jesus was just a teacher? Then why did he claim to be the first and the last, titles reserved for Yahweh in the Old Testament? Isaiah 44:6 settles it. Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel, I am the first, and I am the last, and beside me there is no God. Did you catch that? No God beside him. And yet Jesus says the same thing in Revelation 22:13. So unless there are two Alphas and two Omegas, Jesus is declaring himself the one true God. You say he was a prophet? Show one prophet who ever said, I am the beginning and the end. Moses never dared it. Elijah never whispered it. Muhammad never imagined it. Only Jesus. And either he spoke truth, or he spoke blasphemy. But don't call him just a prophet while he's standing in the position of God. You say he was created? Then how can the created be the beginning? How can the made be the first? How can the born be before all? Colossians 1:17 crushes that lie. He is before all things, and by him all things consist. That includes time, matter, and space. Jesus is not part of creation. He is its eternal architect. And what of the end? Revelation declares Jesus will return in glory, judge the living and the dead, and reign forever. That's not a prophet's job. That's the role of God. Revelation 20 shows him seated on a great white throne from which heaven and earth flee. Who but the eternal God could command such awe? Let every religious system that denies his divinity explain why Jesus uses God's exclusive titles. Let every skeptic explain how this man of Galilee fulfills eternal roles. Let every doubter wrestle with this truth. If Jesus is not God, then Revelation is false, Isaiah is confused, and the scriptures contradict themselves. But they don't. They align. They roar with unified voice. Jesus is not a beginning. He is the beginning. He is not a conclusion. He is the end. He doesn't borrow God's name. He wears it as his own. So here's the verdict. If you reject Jesus as God, you're rejecting the Alpha. If you ignore him, you're ignoring the Omega. And if you try to sit in the middle, lukewarm and undecided, you will be vomited out by the one who spans eternity from first to last. You can debate men, you can argue religion, but you cannot escape the voice from Revelation, I am Alpha and Omega. It is a divine echo from Genesis to the Gospels to the final page of time. The beginning calls you, the end awaits you, the first made you, the last will judge you, and his name is Jesus.